All right, so I wanted to talk about in a longer video, like how do you get away with the forward trunk position? So all of these guys here that are being shown, um, they kind of don't follow the rule of like the most recent reel that I posted. And I'll kind of like bring it back a little bit here. So I was talking about like how for most, not for all, but for most, what you want to have happen is you want to have there's your belt line and you want to have your nose behind that line. But you can see Sonny Gray, nose a little bit in front, right? I'll bring it back. Zach Wheeler, right? Little in front. And if I just keep going along, right, like Kimbrel, right? The belt buckle's right around there, little in front. So how do they get away with this? Because obviously they're in the major leagues, throw very hard, and they're all at the level that we're all aspiring to be at, right? So how do they do it? So let me explain something to you. This works for some, not all. And it definitely is more of the minority that, some people can throw very hard pound for pound throwing this way, but it is worth acknowledging and it is worth showing you how to make it happen. But there's other examples, but we will just stick with these guys. So typically, when you see all these guys with like more forward trunk positions, what you're going to notice is there's a little bit more of that pocket of the glove or kind of the shoulder wound into internal rotation, right? That's one commonality. Another is that the toe is up and the front foot is more open. And really the biggest key in at least in my opinion is they are able to access uh this range of scapular loading where like some people would point to this and say, oh, late arm, oh, inverted W or something like that. But to me, this is the key to all of this because you have to understand if it's Woodruff who, when he's healthy, he's throwing very hard upper 90s, right? And then you have someone like Kimbrel, right? There's the elbow, open foot, right? Or Zach Wheeler, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, right? You have those two, right? So really how it works for these guys. I'll take it back to Woodruff because he does it really well, in my opinion. Um, how it works is you have a lower body that wants to get open, and it functions really well when you don't worry about staying so closed with it, right? And you just, you're in kind of a hurry to get the front foot out there, right? And you can see how it kind of kicks out with everybody, especially with Wheeler, how it really just kicks forward, right? When you have it like this, the lower body is going to want to take care of all rotation. And because gets open a little bit sooner than most, it's going to want to pull your weight forward. So, what do you do? What you do is you actually keep this arm down longer and you can actually access a little bit more of scap retraction, right? This is one of the ways how you combat like this lean, right? Because if you don't necessarily have that, and you don't have a way of keeping the upper body back or keeping everything from opening with the lower body, you're not going to throw very hard. And that's why I say this works for some. And more likely than not, if you're watching this video, the other version where your chin is more behind the belt buckle here, right? That's probably going to work for you. But I just want to kind of give you some insight, and maybe I'll do some of these videos in the future. But why this matters so much is because the elbow, right, of loading into the scap, or really whatever you want to call it, just getting that elbow back there forces the trunk to want to stay closed. But because of the open lead leg and the shift forward, it's going to want to pull the lower body forward. So you kind of need two forces really to oppose each other, right? And if I take this to someone like Sonny Gray, great, great example, right? You need that to happen at landing. And as you're moving into the throw, you need a great front side where the front side will effectively block the torso from leaking forward too much. And it really kind of creates like this wall right about here, right? You can see how Sonny Gray's glove really just stops, right? But you need one that's a little bit extra firm, right? Because that right there is what kind of jolts. Like you can see how the glove is fully decelerated at this point. You need a really firm front side here because that firm front side now will launch not only the trunk into rotation, the trunk will stop rotating here, and that's what really sends the arm forward, right? And if I bring that back to someone like Kimbrel, right? Kimbrel has a great front side, right? And you're going to see right about here, front side stops rotating. That stops the trunk, and that allows him to extend his release point and get out in front. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below.